G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and guys, it is upon us. A couple of weeks ago in the Monday recap we mentioned the possibility of a new Titanfall game being on the horizon, and a couple of days ago we got just that. Well, sort of. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Apex Legends, a new free-to-play Battle Royale game developed by Respawn Entertainment, published by EA, and set in the Titanfall universe. Now, I know that for many, the word EA hits the mind, and it's an instant, nope, so much, nope, not touching it, nope. Which, you know, is fair, but I urge you guys to stick around in this one because this is a game that has had me pleasantly surprised, so pleasantly surprised to the fact that this is now my new favourite Battle Royale on the market, as it makes so many changes to the original formula that makes it its own thing, and with confidence. The pace of the game feels just right. There is also a low enough skill floor and high enough skill ceiling to the point where players can get into the game without having too hard a time, but have a lot of potential to grow into an absolute murdering machine. And above all else, it's just plain fun to play. There is a crazy amount of influence here from Titanfall 2's gunplay, which in itself was really solid. Team play is both emphasized and executed really well, and even if you get taken out early in the game still offers you a lifeline. It's just a stupidly fun game, and for a game that was announced and launched on the same day as a full game, not a quote-unquote full game with an early access tag on it, I'm incredibly impressed. The game runs beautifully and is really as smooth as one could hope for a game launch, and the hard work on ensuring a smooth release has really put this game on the map. This game has reached 2 million unique players in the first 48 hours from its launch, and it has consistently topped the Twitch view counts, and it continues to grow. And this is a game that had absolutely no advertising behind it at all, well, at least not prior to the launch. It is all thanks to the good days hard work behind Respawn to ensure that this game was ready for a solid release from the get-go. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Just what is Apex Legends? What does it do right? What does it do wrong? Is this a potential contender for the king of Battle Royales? Well, let's find out. The first thing players will notice about Apex Legends is that it could be considered the dawn of the hero-based Battle Royale. In this game, there are currently 8 separate legends that each have their own specific abilities and playstyles, which are again separated into fire support, scouting, and teammate support role archetypes. Each legend has access to a utility skill and an ultimate skill that can augment how a battle plays out. But, and I want to make this incredibly clear, none of these skills can directly turn the tide of a battle at the press of a button. I know that many will see the ultimate skills factor into the game and then look to a game like Overwatch for comparison, where you have Reaper's Death Blossom, or Ash's Bob, or Tracer's Time Bomb, or McCree's, Deadeye, and which are giant I win buttons essentially, even if the enemy player is outgunning the player who is using that ultimate. In Apex Legends, even the legends that are in the fire support category do not have any abilities that can come even close to netting instant kills. On the contrary, most abilities are very utility based, with Bangalore's or Gibraltar's artillery strikes each mainly acting as area denial abilities, forcing enemies to either seek cover or stop an advance or your squad. Characters like Pathfinder or Bloodhound act as scouts or tracking units, scoring abilities that will allow for you to quickly close the distance on an enemy foe or make a quick escape. All of the abilities each have some extreme potential, but none of the characters feel like they could carry a team themselves. And if anything, the abilities are all mainly team orientated, designed to work with your team as opposed to being things that throw out the balance of a fight completely in the favour of your character. But as cool as the legends and their abilities are, the game takes the teamwork factor and dials it to 11 here in literally every other aspect of the game that relates to teamwork to make this what I would argue the most social Battle Royale game on the market out there. And I think that this mindset is what has taken Apex Legends to the heights that it has reached in such a short period of time. I think that anyone who has played Apex Legends will agree with me when I say that the absolute key behind its teamwork-oriented gameplay is the tagging system. In this game, players can tag anything in their line of sight in the game world to highlight it for allies, where the in-game character will actually make a call out relevant to the thing that you've just spotted out, and the game will leave a corresponding mark on the HUD and map for the rest of your squad. Do you see an enemy that you want to spot out? Tag them. See an unopened chest that you want to loot but need some cover doing it? Tag it. Spot an upgraded chest piece that your teammate needs? Tag it so they can find it. Want to recommend a route to a safe zone? You guessed it. Tag it. The entire system is so easy to use and makes communicating with your teammates so much easier. No longer do you need to recite compass bearings to properly call out an enemy. Just tag them and get to shooting. However, the greatest thing that this system does for the game is allow for players who are solo queuing to still communicate with allies effectively, even if they don't want to use a microphone. I have entered games as a solo player where my entire team and I have relied on the ping system and still have placed extremely highly in the grand scheme of things. Without the system in the game, the fact that the game only allows for you to play in teams of 3 could have been a huge downfall for this title. Quite frankly, now that I've used the tagging system in Apex Legends, any Battle Royale game that comes out or has come out should probably include some sort of tagging system so that the squad game mode, even if it's a solo queued player, is a little bit more attractive. But focusing back on Apex Legends here, we have ourselves a system that means that no matter the situation or the amount of microphones in your team, you have an opportunity to easily communicate with your allies in a very quick and intuitive manner. And quite frankly, this is now an industry standard for Battle Royale games. Now, on top of this, the game incorporates another first for the Battle Royale genre that drastically improves the experience in my opinion, that being the ability to respawn dead allies back into the game after they've been downed and subsequently finished off. One of the greatest problems with any previous Battle Royale game is that there was a horrific downtime to playtime ratio in squad play. If you were eliminated early in the game and then had to watch a mate who happened to burn through the rest of the opposition to the end of the game, you may as well have gone off and make yourself a snack or something while you waited. It really took the pace out of the Battle Royale experience, as no one wants to get that kind of downtime in a shooter. With Apex Legends, that problem is solved, where if you get nailed and a teammate gets to your body in time, where the time frame to do this is pretty reasonable, then they can actually call you back in at specific locations on the map. Your gear will be gone though, so while there is a huge risk, you can at least still get back into the fight and playing again. What this also does is add some incentive for your teammates to actually come back and fight your killers as opposed to just leave you for dead. In previous games, if you were to get nailed, it was likely for your team just to, leave you to save their own skins. But in this game, teammates coming back to fight for your corpse can potentially bring them the greatest gift of all. For one, the loot that you stole off them, and two, the return of your clumsy ass who got themselves killed. It's just another incentive this game throws at you to fight and stick together as a team. It's really a nice addition. But beyond the tagging system and, the ability to resurrect dead teammates from after they've literally died, the game makes it easy for you to stick together as a team like no other out there. At the very start of the game, one team member of the team is elected as the jump master, who are responsible for deciding when the team dives out of the aircraft and guiding them to the final destination. Now, teammates are able to choose to deviate from the drop master if they decide that they are heading towards certain doom, but this once again just eliminates any of the confusion that can occur at the start of a Battle Royale game when it comes to deciding where to drop and where to land. Now, one thing that I have also seen people doing is travelling towards the target destination together and then breaking off to have their own building to loot, which is becoming a very powerful strategy for those who tend to play a very quick looting game. The game also replaces vehicles with zip lines and these balloons that you can zip line up to and detach from to get a second drop per se, kind of familiar, or similar I should say, to the jump pads in Fortnite. And these really do allow for you to cover some serious ground really quickly. These modes of transport also help to keep the team together as they don't have any seat limits like what vehicles do, and anyone can use them at any time. It speeds up combat in the game and again it keeps the squads together. I wouldn't even be able to recite all of the times that my squad in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds have been looking for a vehicle just to try and save us for the circle, and we end up just simply bleeding out because of the circle, or we do end up finding a vehicle, but the vehicle doesn't actually have enough seat slots to carry an entire squad, and then, the awkward standoff of who gets this seat, who gets that seat commences. The addition of these zip lines and these hovering balloon things allow for a second drop really just allows for the squad to stick together and stay in the fight a lot longer. So, I think it's become quite clear by this point but I'll spell it out for anyone who has just been blissfully staring at the gameplay. I am fucking loving this game. This is well and truly the best Battle Royale game to have hit the market yet, and sadly, for all my PlanetSide Arena hopefuls, I am going to have to say that I am thoroughly enjoying this game more than I did my initial experiences in PlanetSide Arena. I'm still planning on doing a review for Arena, but I'm not actually going to go about reviewing or discussing the game at all until it fully comes out, because quite frankly I'd rather show you guys gameplay to back up what I'm telling you about Arena than, you know, just talk about it while it's under an NDA. Anyway, back to Apex. Everything from the gunplay to the movement to the new additions to the Battle Royale formula has allowed for Apex Legends to become what I would consider the best Battle Royale on the market right now, and I cannot wait to see where this game goes in the future. Even the loot box mechanics behind it, while I hate loot boxes as any other man out there, are at least somewhat consumer friendly this time around. So I've got to say this now, this game is very much a hopeful contender, and I would say has now quickly become the king of the Battle Royale genre. Anyway guys, that concludes today's video discussing Apex Legends, and guys, I am actually really keen to bring you guys some more content on this game, so let me know in the comment section down below, what kind of content and videos do you want to see for Apex Legends? Do you want to see tips and tricks for each legend? Do you want to see weapon guides? Tips and tricks in general for the game? Let me know. And if you guys enjoyed today's video and want to see more Apex Legends on the channel, then please do feel free to backhand that like button and backhand that subscribe button and leave any sort of feedback in the comment section down below. All my social media links are linked in the description down below as per always as well, guys. Take care guys, have a good one. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Peace out, and I'll see you all in the next one.